The kiss. Forgiveness and healing. All expressions of love are maximal. Miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. The real miracle is the love that inspires them. In this sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. Transformational booklet. The one thing that happened was the universal miracle, which was the experience of intense love that you have felt. I love you, and I am not afraid or embarrassed or doubtful. My strength will support you, so don't worry and leave the rest to me. Jesus. Miracles are a kind of exchange. Like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in the true sense, the exchange reverses the physical laws. A miracle is a reversal of the physical order because it brings more love to the giver and the receiver. Prayer is the medium of miracles. Prayer is the natural communication of the created with the Creator. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. Heaven and earth shall pass away means that they will not always exist as separate states. My word, which is the resurrection and the light, shall not pass away because life is eternal. You are the work of God, and His work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. This is how a man must think of himself in his heart, because this is what he is. Mark 13:31. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. Miracles honor man because he is lovable. They dispel illusions about himself and perceive the light in him. They thus atone for his errors by freeing him from his own nightmares. They release him from a prison in which he has imprisoned himself. By freeing his mind from illusions, they restore his sanity and place him at the feet of Jesus. You are wholly lovely, a perfect shaft of pure light. Before your loveliness the stars stand transfixed and bow to the power of your will. The love of God, for a little while, must still be expressed through one body to another. That is because the real vision is still so dim. Everyone can use his body best by enlarging man's perception, so he can see the real vision. This vision is invisible to the physical eye. The ultimate purpose of the body is to render itself unnecessary. Learning to do this is the only reason for its creation. Revelations induce complete but temporary suspension of doubt and fear. They represent the original form of communication between God and His souls, before the intrusion of fire and ice made this impossible. It should be noted that they involve an extremely personal sense of closeness to creation, which man tries to find in sexual relationships. If perfect love casts out fear, and if fear exists, then there is not perfect love, but only perfect love really exists. The betrayal of the Son of God lies only in illusions, and all his sins are but his own imagining. His reality is forever sinless. He need not be forgiven, but awakened. In his dreams he has betrayed himself, his brothers, and his God. Yet what is done in dreams has not been really done. Can you imagine how beautiful those you forgive will look to you? In no fantasy have you ever seen anything so lovely. Nothing you see here, sleeping or waking, comes near to such loveliness, and nothing will you value like unto this, nor hold so dear. Nothing that you remember, that made your heart seem to sing with joy, has ever brought you even a little part of the happiness this sight will bring to you. For you will see the Son of God. You will behold the beauty that the Holy Spirit loves to look upon, and that He thanks the Father for. He was created to see this for you, until you learn to see it for yourself. And all His teaching leads to seeing it and giving thanks with Him. This loveliness is not a fantasy. It is the real world, bright and clean and new, with everything sparkling under the open sun. Nothing is hidden here, for everything has been forgiven, and there are no fantasies to hide the truth. The bridge between that world and this is so little and so easy to cross that you could not believe it is the meeting place of worlds so different. Yet this little bridge is the strongest thing that touches on this world at all. This little step, small, so small, it has escaped your notice, is a stride through time into eternity and beyond all ugliness into beauty that will enchant you and will never cease to cause you wonderment at its perfection. This step, the smallest ever taken by anything, is the greatest accomplishment of all in God's plan of atonement. All else is learned, but this is given, complete and wholly perfect. No one but Him who planned salvation could complete it thus. The real world in its loveliness, you learn to reach. Fantasies are all undone. No one and nothing remains still bound by them, and by your own forgiveness, you are free to see. And what you see is only what you have made, with the blessings of your forgiveness on it. And with this final blessing of God's Son upon Himself, the real perception, born of this new perspective He has learned, has served its purpose. The stars will disappear in light, and the sun, which opened up the world to beauty, will vanish. Perception will be meaningless when it has been perfected, for everything that has been used for learning will have no function. Nothing will ever change, no shifts, nor shadings, no differences, no variations that made perception possible will occur. The perception of the real world will be so short that you will barely have time to thank God for it, for God will take the last step swiftly when you have reached the real world and have been made ready for Him. The real world is attained simply by the complete forgiveness of the old, the world you see without forgiveness. The great transformer of perception will undertake with you the careful searching of the mind that made this world, and uncover to you the seeming reason for your making it. In the light of the real reason that He brings as you follow Him, He will show you that there is no reason here at all. Each spot His reason touches grows alive with beauty, and what seemed ugly in the darkness of your lack of reason is suddenly released to loveliness. Not even what the Son of God made in insanity could be without a spark of beauty that gentleness could release. All this beauty will rise to bless your sight, and as you look upon the world with forgiving eyes, for forgiveness literally transforms vision and lets you see the real world, reaching quietly and gently across chaos and removing all illusions that had twisted your perception and fixed it on the past. The smallest leaf becomes a thing of wonder, and the blade of grass a sign of God's perfection. From the forgiven world, the Son of God is lifted easily to his home, and there he knows that he has always rested there in peace. To forgive is merely to remember only the loving thoughts you gave in the past, and those that were given you. All the rest must be forgotten. Forgiveness is a selective remembering, based not on your selection. For the shadow figures you would make immortal are enemies of reality. Be willing to forgive the Son of God for what he did not do. The shadow figures are the witnesses you bring with you to demonstrate he did what he did not. Because you brought them, you will hear them. And you who kept them by your own selection do not understand how they came into your minds and what their purpose is. That bodies are central to all unholy relationships is evident. Your own experience has taught you this. But what you do not realize are all the reasons that go to make the relationship unholy. For unholiness seeks to reinforce itself by gathering to itself what it perceives as like itself, as holiness does. In the unholy relationship, it is not the body of the other with which union is attempted, but the bodies of those who are not there. Even the body of the other, already a severely limited perception of him, is not the central focus as it is, or in entirety. Every step taken in the making, the maintaining, and the breaking off of the unholy relationship is a move toward further fragmentation and unreality. The shadow figures enter more and more, and the one in whom they seem to be decreases in importance. Time is indeed unkind to the unholy relationship, for time is cruel in the ego's hands, as it is kind when used for gentleness. The attraction of the unholy relationship begins to fade and to be questioned almost at once. Once it is formed, doubt must enter in because its purpose is impossible. The only such relationships which retain the fantasies which center on them are the ones which have been dreamed of, but have not been made at all. Where no reality has entered, there is nothing to intrude upon the dream of happiness. But consider what this means. The more of the reality that enters into the unholy relationship, the less satisfying it becomes. And the more the fantasies can encompass, the greater the satisfaction seems to be. The ideal of the unholy relationship becomes one in which the reality of the other does not enter at all to spoil the dream. And the less the other really brings to it, the better it becomes. Thus, the attempt at union becomes a way of excluding even the one with whom the union was sought, for it was formed to get him out of it and join with fantasies in uninterrupted bliss. How can the Holy Spirit bring His interpretation of the body as a means of communicating into relationship whose only purpose is separation from reality? What forgiveness is enables Him to do so. If all but loving thoughts have been forgotten, what remains is eternal, and the transformed past is made like the present. No longer does the past conflict with now. This continuity extends the present and increasing its reality and its value in your perception of it. In these loving thoughts is the spark of beauty, hidden in the ugliness of the unholy relationship in which the hatred is remembered, yet there to come alive as the relationship is given to Him who gives it life and beauty. That is why atonement centers on the past, which is the source of separation, and where it must be undone. For separation must be corrected where it was made. The ego seeks to resolve its problems, not at their source, but where they were not made, and thus it seeks to guarantee there will be no solution. The Holy Spirit wills only to make His resolution complete and perfect, and so He seeks and finds the source of problems where it is, and there undoes it. And with each step in His undoing is the separation more and more undone, and union brought closer. He is not at all confused by any reasons for separation. All he perceives in it is that it must be undone. Let Him uncover the hidden spark of beauty in your relationships and show it to you. Its loveliness will so attract you that you will be unwilling ever to lose the sight of it again, and you will let it transform the relationship so you can see it more and more. For you will want it more and more and become increasingly unwilling to let it be hidden from you. And you will learn to seek for and establish conditions in which this beauty can be seen. All this you will do gladly, if you but let Him hold the spark before you to light your way and make it clear to you. God's Son is one, and whom God is joined as one, the ego cannot break apart. The spark of holiness must be safe, however hidden it may be in every relationship, for the Creator of the one relationship has left no part of it without Himself. This is the only part of the relationship the Holy Spirit sees, because He knows that only this is true. This reader is made with excerpts from the Urtext Manuscripts of A Course in Miracles, Volume 1, Miracles in Action Press, 2008. Thank you.